day, grade 12 learners. Welcome to today's economics lesson. My name is Mr. Berry. This lesson is brought to you by the Northern Cape Department of Education in collaboration with Pagama Research and Development. Good day again, grade 12. I'm welcoming you into today's revision class. We are going to focus on the microeconomics and the economic issues as part of your main topics in paper 2. So our part today is to revise for our November examination, paper 2. What we want to achieve by the end of the lesson is that we should be able to respond to our November examination paper. We are going to use a prelim examination of Mpumalanga 2024 as our revision. We're going to be answering questions from that paper. Right, so grade 12, our assessment plan look like this. For your paper 2, you have two main topics. Your main topic, microeconomics and the economic issues. These are the subtopics that we have. For microeconomics, we have perfect competition, imperfect competition, and the market failure. For your economic issues, you have inflation, tourism, and environmental sustainability. So in total, you have six subtopics from the two main topics. Your paper, this is the structure of your paper. Both paper, your paper 1 and paper 2, it is out of 150, making it 300. So that 300 is going to contribute 75% of your final mark at the end of the year. The duration of each paper is 2 hours. The paper consists of 6 questions. Out of the 6 questions, you need to answer only 4 questions. 1 in section A, question 1, which is compulsory. 2 in section B, you have 3 questions. You must only answer 2. And on section C, you have 2 questions. You must only answer 1 question, making that 4 questions that you must do. Section A, as mentioned, it's compulsory 30 marks. Section B, you answer 2, you choose 2. From 2 to 4, you only take 2. Section C, you answer 1. Right, so for your examination, again, as a reminder, for your paper 2, it's microeconomics and economic issues. You need to read through your content using your textbook, using the study guides that you have. Most importantly, grade 12, follow the examination guideline of 2021, the one that you are using in your classroom, in order for you to focus mainly on the things that can be examined on November examination, because what they use is that examination guideline to guide them on questions that can be asked. Right. Also, we've mentioned on the previous lesson, looking at the easy marks to score. We've mentioned that in section A, your 1.1, your 1.2, those are easy marks to score. When you go to section B on your data response question, your first 3 questions are easy to respond. The very first question, your 2.1.1, 3.1.1, 4.1.1, that is your easy mark to score. Also your 2.4, 3.4, 4.4. It's easy to score there because you are given information that you can really just cut and paste from the textbook if you remember what you did in the classroom. However, when it comes to your 3.5, 2.5 and 4.5, it becomes a bit difficult because those questions, we say they are moderate to higher order questioning, meaning it requires you to think. For example, here we have a question says, how will the intervention of government into the markets positively impact the South African economy? So what do? You highlight key pointers. How will the intervention of government, so government intervention where in markets, affect what? Economy, but only positively, meaning you are going to structure your answers in a way that you speak of the positive impact of government intervention, even though you know that there are some negative impact of government intervention. For example, reducing production because of too many regulations that are there. That is a negative impact. So when you go to this question, you think only of the positive. So you need to understand, how does the government intervene? Through subsidies, through maximizing or minimizing prices, through taxation. So you're going to discuss what is the impact on the economy. For example, taxation may look like a leakage. It is a leakage when the government takes money as an intervention. However, sometimes it assists the economy in reducing the supply of demerit goods, for example. Or the same money can be used to provide public goods and services, which is positive for the economy now. Subsidies increases what? Production. So by highlighting key pointers, now you can structure your answers. If you know government intervention, then you can write subsidy, taxes, maximum, minimum prices. Then you use those points to do what? To answer in full sentences. Remember, we do not mark listing. If you are listing in this question, we are going to give you maximum of 2 marks for listing in a higher order question. So you must write in full sentence. Right, so these are our most important dates. We have paper 1 on the 12th, we have paper 2 on the 19th. So we must stay ready for these 2 papers. Let's go to our game plan. Right, so our game plan, we say we answer section A, which is compulsory. Section B, if you are mastering the economic issues, this is what we are going to answer. Question 3 and 4. What is economic issues? We're talking about inflation, tourism, and environmental sustainability. Then when you get to section C, we answer question 6. So question 6, the beauty of question 6 is that it will come as it is from the examination guideline. There's no twisting of the question. However, question 5 from the microeconomics, they can ask you to compare to market structure. They can ask you to differentiate. They can ask you to draw. They can ask you to explain without using graphs. So there's so many possible essay questions that can come from the microeconomics. However, with economic issues, your essay can be discussed in details, measures to combat inflation. This can never change. If it's measures to combat inflation, you're looking at monetary policy, fiscal policy, and other measures. Can ask you number 2, they can ask you discuss in details international problems and measures. Here we're speaking of loss of biodiversity, chemical waste, climate change. It can never change. Those are our problems, and we have certain measures. Climate change, we have Kyoto Protocol. So it will remain the same. So this essay will be asked this way. So it's easy for you to prepare question 6, right? Number 3, you can have discuss in details, for example, benefit of tourism. Right. So remember we said when we revise for this question 6, we need to put priorities, meaning the most possible until the least possible. Right. Our most possible, we say combating inflation, we come measures, international problems and measures, benefit of tourism. Number 4, we put government intervention for environmental sustainability. Number 5, we put the consequences of inflation. Number 6, we put effects of tourism. So those are your 6 essays, from the most possible to the least possible. I'm going to repeat this grade 12. When you study for question 6, you can prioritize your essays, meaning all of them, all 6 essays are possible. Hear me correctly, all the 6 essays are possible, but we can try to prioritize them when you study. Even if you don't get to essay number 6, but at least essay number 4, you have mastered it from 1 to 4. So 1 being discuss in details measures to combat inflation, 2 being discuss in details international problems and measures for environmental sustainability, 3 being discuss in detail the benefit of tourism, 4 being discuss in details government intervention to ensure sustainable development. You need to know the difference between all these four essays, as they are possible for your section C question 6. We need to stay ready. Right, let's move straight to our section A. We're going to look at terminologies 1.3.1 to 1.3.6. You'll be given some time to respond to these questions. Then we look at the marking guideline. Your time will be 5 minutes grade off. Then we do corrections. You may start writing now. Right, grade 12, thank you so much. Let's look at our responses. The competition body that reviews others where parties are dissatisfied with the ruling of tribunal. So you have 3 bodies: competition body, you have commission, you have tribunal, and we have the appeal court. Commission, they investigate mergers and takeovers. So before companies can merge, they need to disclose the information to the competition. After investigating, the tribunal make a decision on the investment that has been made. When we are not satisfied with the result, then we go to the competition appeal court. The cost incurred when producing one additional unit. For producing one additional unit, we use the word marginal in economics to say addition. So here, what are we doing? We are producing. When we produce, there is a cost. So your answer will be, you are correct for saying marginal cost. When the production or consumption of goods has a negative or positive effect on the third party. So something that affects the person who's not directly involved in the transaction. It's not private because you are not directly involved. It's not a private cost. It's not a private benefit. It becomes what? An externality. Activities of people traveling to staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than a year. That is tourism. The type of inflation caused by an increase in the cost of production. This inflation is because of cost of production, not because people are having money. When people are having too much money, we have what we call a demand pull inflation. It means that there's too much money. Demand exceeds the supply. So when the supply now is less, we have what? A cost push inflation. The process of keeping resources that are non-renewable intact. So we have 2 ways of protecting the environment through conservation and preservation. Conservation is the continuous use of resources in an effective way that it benefits us for now and for the future generation. But then if you are keeping them intact, meaning the non-renewable resources, we are so scared that we may lose them for good, and we are keeping them intact. That is to preserve. Preservation is the correct answer. Right, so you are marking yourself, you are doing correction. Now we are moving to section B. Right, section B, we have 2.1.1, 2.1.2. Let's do 2.1.1 and 2.1.2 together. Name any 2 examples of oligopoly businesses. So you are going to raise your hand and list those 2 examples of oligopoly businesses that you know. Right, we have mentioned a few of them. Right, 2.1.2, why will the monopolist not be able to charge excessively high prices for his or her product? Remember, a monopolist is the only seller. Why they can't charge very, very high prices? I want you to discuss this one, why monopolists cannot charge high prices. As much as they are price setters, they are price makers, but why can't they charge high excessively prices? Let's discuss this for 2 minutes. Right, remember, and this question can also come as an 8-mark question. So you have so many possible answers that you can write there. Right, let's look at the marking guideline. Name 2 examples of oligopoly businesses. Oligopoly is a market structure with few sellers, right? Only few sellers. So you must think of businesses that are few. Few can be 3, can be 2, can be 20, right? So you have commercial banks, telecommunication companies, which is your network companies, your Vodacom, Celsi, car manufacturers, and anything else that is few, not many. So if you have mentioned restaurants, you are incorrect because there are many of them. So if you've mentioned companies that have few sellers, you are correct. And when speaking of oligopoly, you must also remember we have what we call a duopoly. A duopoly is a market structure with only 2 businesses. For example, Coke and Pepsi. That is a duopoly. Why will the monopolies not be able to charge excessively high prices? Monopoly is a business. So if they are charging high price, the higher the price, the lower the demand. The lower the demand, low profit. So they are scared of losing their profit. And mostly these monopolies are owned by the government and they are regulated by a board, right? For example, Eskom, it is regulated by NERSA. So for them to charge a price or to increase the price, they need to go back and submit their reasoning to the board before they can agree to that. Right, let's look at our possible answers here. Consumers have limited budget and they will buy substitutes. Remember, monopolies does not have a substitute, there's no substitute. However, instead of buying electricity that is too expensive, you start using gas. You start finding easier way to do other things without using the electricity. You come up with substitutes that are not a close substitute, but you avoid paying that high price. Also, you can use it efficiently. Instead of you leaving your geyser on the whole day, you switch it on when you are using it. So it means that you're finding better ways to use that product. Monopolies have little control over price and do not have control over demand. When they say little control, yes, they are price makers, but then most of them are owned by the government and there are boards that they need to report to. And sometimes these monopolies, they are providing to people from different classes. For example, let's say water provided by the government, right? So it's not easy for them to charge high price because some community, they are underdeveloped, they are still struggling, so they can't charge them extremely high prices. So you have so many possible answers that you may have there. So if you think your answer is correct and relevant, then you may raise your hand. Maybe it is indeed correct. We are accepting any other relevant answer here. Right, we move into your data response question. So we are only going to focus on the 2 last questions. Remember, I said the first 3 questions on your data response, those are your giveaway marks. Those are, in accounting, we say they are chocolate marks. You just get them, right? For being in the examination room. The first 3 questions are the easiest question to get is 1, 1, 2, which is 4 marks that you get, right? So you have 2.2.4 and 2.2.5. Let's look at the questions together. Then you are going to be given some time to answer. Why is access into the perfect market regarded as easy? Remember, there's free entry in a perfect market. Why are we saying it's easy? Right, 2.2.5. What are the short run benefits of running a firm in a perfect competition? Right, I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to jot down, to write down the answer for 2.2.4 and 2.2.5. Right, grade 12, let's look at our marking guideline. Why is access into the perfect market regarded as easy? There are too many sellers there, so no one is in control. So it's easy to enter and exit the market. There are no legal, financial, technology, or any other barriers to entry. So there are no barriers to entry. What are the short run benefits of running a firm in a perfect competition? In a short run, we are able to make economic profit. Remember, in a long run, there is only normal profit, right? More firms enter the market, which increase competition and reduce prices and most of the minimum of the short-run average cost. Competition leads to the expansion of the markets as firms seek to grow their customer base, resulting in increased opportunities for entrepreneurs. So because here there's free entry, it's easy for other people to come in, and then as they are coming in, it results in people who are owning this business being also more innovative and also trying to gain more customers. And remember, when they are making laws, you find a situation where others are leaving in the short run. And then when they are leaving, prices can be high, and those who are remaining, they get to enjoy now more profit. 2.3. Also, we are having 2.3.4, 2.3.5. Let's look at the question. So you're going to look at the graph below and then you answer the question. Explain why oligopolies are reluctant to compete on prices. So oligopoly, they are non-price competitors. So you're going to explain why they do not want, reluctant to, they don't want to compete in prices. Use the information in the graph to show the impact of a decrease in the price on the revenue of oligopolies. To show all calculation. If they decide to decrease their prices, what will happen? You need to calculate that. Right? I'll give you 5 minutes to respond to 2.3.4 and 2.3.5. Right, our time is up. 2.3.4. Explain why oligopolies are reluctant to compete on prices. Once this oligopoly decrease price from 10 to 8, the other one may feel like it's cheaper to buy. Let's say we're talking about telecommunication companies, network companies, right? You decrease your data price 1 gig from 10 rand to 8 rand. That is Vodacom. Then Telkom will do the same thing. They will decrease their price even further to 7 rand so that they can gain more market share. MTN is going to decrease it further to 5 rand. What is happening there? It is a price war, and it's not beneficial to any of them. They are losing on profit because of a price war. So to avoid price war, they do not compete on price. They compete on other factors. We call them the non-price competition factors. They are branding their product, they are advertising, they are giving loyalty points. That is what competition without using prices. When the firms reduce its price, the other firms will follow it and reduce the prices as well, which will lead to price war. So for them to avoid price war, they won't use a price to compete. Right, so this one we are going to prove that if an oligopoly decides to decrease price, there will be a situation that happens there. They will lose revenue. What will happen to their revenue? They will lose revenue. So look at 10 rand. This is the price where it kinks. This is the price that oligopoly must charge, right? Because when they decrease prices, here they're decreasing price, the increase in demand is not that much, because this side of the graph, we call it relatively inelastic. So consumers are not responding much just because let's look at toothpaste. Colgate decides to decrease price, and then you are using Aquafresh. It's good for your gums. Right, you have the benefits that you get from Aquafresh. You've been using it your whole life. Now, Colgate decided to decrease price, and Aquafresh did not do anything. Only a few people who are not attached in using Aquafresh, for example, will want to go buy Colgate because it's cheaper. However, those who have they are buying this product because it's personal to them. They enjoy using it. They like the taste. They won't be shaken by the decrease in the price of the other product. So they will remain with their product as long as their product is still selling at the same price. So the increase in the demand, it will be a smaller shift. So meaning it's relatively inelastic. So let's look at the numbers now. 10 times 10 times 9, it is 90 rand revenue, right? And then you go to the price of 8. If the price has been decreased to 8 times 10, it's 80 rand. So at the price of 10, they are gaining 90 rand. At the price of 8, they are only getting 80 rand, meaning they are losing revenue of 10 rand. So they are losing revenue. Same if they wanted to increase their price to 12, right? There will be less people buying. So 12 times 2, that is 24, meaning the revenue will also decrease if they increase prices. And this side is called now the relatively elastic. What does it mean? This is the elastic part. There is a response. Remember in grade 12 when you did elasticities, elastic, it means that there is response. People are responding. Yes, they used to like the certain product that they used to like, but now if it increases the price so much, they start using the substitute because the price are too high. So increasing of price, it will have negative impact on revenue. Decreasing of price has a negative impact of revenue. If they increase price, it will be P times Q. P is 12 times 2, which is 24 revenue. That is 90 minus 24, meaning they will be losing a certain revenue there. What is 90 minus 24? Let's do the quick maths. That is 66. So they will be losing 66 rand on revenue. So they rather charge here. That's why they are reluctant in changing prices as well. Right, 2.5. How do hybrid market structure positively impact the economy? Like we said, the 0.5 questions are there to confuse you and to make you think. But look at this question. It's easy. What is a hybrid market structure? You need to now highlight key pointers. Positively now, the economy. What is a hybrid market structure? Somebody answer that. You are mentioning combination of both monopoly and perfect market. That is your monopolistic. So a hybrid market structure, it is a monopolistic. So the question is asking you, how do monopolistic competition markets positively impact the economy? Now you can respond to this question. You'll be given 6 minutes to come up with 4 full sentences for this question. Your time will begin now, then we look at the marking guideline. Right, thank you so much, grade 12. Let's look at your answers. How do hybrid market structure positively impact the economy? Hybrid market structure can create an environment that may foster innovation and efficiency. Remember, monopolistic, they are having competition there. There are many sellers selling different products. So it can foster the business to be innovative, and then that will increase efficiency because there are other people who are selling the same product. Let's go back to the efficiency in these 4 markets. Perfect market is efficient. They achieve both productive and allocative efficiency. Therefore, we say they achieve Pareto efficiency, where we cannot give up anything without disadvantaging the other group. And then monopoly, inefficient. Oligopoly, inefficient. They don't achieve both allocative and productive. Monopolistic, we say it is close to efficiency. Close to efficiency. It's not inefficient. It's not efficient. However, it is close to efficient. But with more business coming in, it's going to force them to be efficient, right? Because they are going to lose on the market share. The fact that business freely enter or leave the hybrid market structure in a long term contributes to the elements of competition. Remember, in the monopolistic competition, there's free entry and exit. This creates competition when people can enter the market. A firm in a hybrid market structure is relatively small in relationship to the market as a whole, which prevents consumer exploitation. One market is very small, the market is large. Monopolistic, there are many sellers there. So it's small and then there are many sellers. So this can result in businesses not exploiting consumers because there are many sellers. Firms offer differentiated products which satisfy the same consumer needs, resulting in a wider consumer choice. They are giving you differentiated product, right? Too many labels out there. So when you're buying a t-shirt, you get a choice. So it satisfies so many choices of consumers. Right. As we continue, remember we only need to write 4 responses, but then let's look at a few more. In a hybrid market structure, firms may have both competitive and monopolistic elements, which can create incentives to firms to invest in research and development in order to differentiate their product. So they are always trying to have to heterogenize their product for it to look different so that consumers can prefer it. This can lead to the development of new product technologies that can drive economic growth and improve overall living standards. The competitiveness elements of the market may provide incentives to firms to keep their costs low and operate more efficiently in order to remain competitive. So they will try to be efficient and lower their costs. Hybrid market structure can contribute to our overall economic stability. Right, so your answers should be around what is the benefit of monopolistic competition. So you are marking yourself from this marking guideline and anything that is relevant to the question. Right, we move into question 3. Question 3, that is your economic issues. Remember, question 2 is only the microeconomics. Question 3, it will be your economic issues. Name any 2 reasons why market fails to protect the environment. Market, it means consumers and producers. Why are we failing to take care of the environment? Why are you failing to take care of the environment? Right, let's move to the next one. How can the high rates of taxation negatively affect the tourism industry? Taxation, high taxation, it reduces what? Spending. So how can that negatively affect the tourism industry? Right, let's look at our responses. Name 2 reasons why market fails to protect the environment. We think that the environment is a common resource, so we don't take care of it. We lack the knowledge. We are careless sometimes. We care about private benefits and cost only. That is the reason we don't take care of the environment. Producers just want to make profit. We just want to buy whatever that the producer is selling for our own benefit. Sometimes it's because we lack the knowledge. You don't know by throwing a certain product away, it will damage the environment. Sometimes we know, but then we are just careless about it. Right, so environment is a common resource, number 1. Number 2, externalities. We do not care about externalities. We lack the knowledge. We are careless. How can high rate of taxation negatively affect the tourism industry? High taxation, less demand. Then there's less demand in the tourism industry. It increases the airfares, accommodation fees, and general price of goods and services, which may reduce income generated in a tourism industry, since few people will afford to travel. So high taxes, it means that fewer people can afford to travel, then the income and profit of a tourism based industry will be affected. Let's move to our data response question. We have 3.2.4, 3.2.5. 3.2.4, why is infrastructure development important in promoting tourism? 3.2.5, how can the depreciation of rent impact the inbound, people coming in? Inbound tourism in South Africa. Right, you'll write your points here. Here's 2 marks, 1 sentence. Here is 4 marks, 2 sentences for this one. 2 times 2, you get your full 4 marks. You are given 5 minutes. Right, let's look at our marking guideline. Why is infrastructure development important in promoting industry? You want to bring people where there are roads, accommodation, ATMs, they can move from one place to the next place. Transportation is easy for them. Communication lines, right? So that will attract more people to come in. That is infrastructure development. Good and adequate physical, for example, hotel rooms, ATMs, water and electricity services, and then services such as communication infrastructure, that will attract tourists to visit an area, right? So where there is physical infrastructure, economic infrastructure, and basic infrastructure and services infrastructure attracts people. See what we are doing here. Physical infrastructure, we are giving you example. Hotel rooms, roads, bridges. Economic infrastructure, ATMs, for example, banks. Basic infrastructure, water and electricity. Service infrastructure, your communication infrastructure as well, which is your communication line. You are able to communicate with people wherever you visit. Due to an upgrading of transport infrastructure, tourist sites in rural areas, there is an improvement link markets within rural areas where production takes place. So when our roads infrastructure is good, we have transportation, so tourism does not have to be only located in the prime cities. It can also move to the rural areas. How can the depreciation, decreasing of the value of rent due to the market force, impact people visiting us? If our currency it decreases due to the market force, it goes down. So a person visiting from the UK, when we say rent is depreciating, it means the pound is appreciating. So if rent used to be, they used to with 1 pound they would get 20 rand, right? Now with 1 pound they can get 25 rand. So it means that the rent has depreciated. With them carrying 1 pound, they get 25 rand as compared to before 20 rand. What would that do to them? Would they want to come in South Africa or not? Definitely they would want to come because it's cheaper now to buy. Because with 1 pound they get 25 rand. When they're holding 2 pounds, it's 50 rand. When they're holding 4 pounds, they have 100 rand now, as compared to before. Before, for them to hold 100 rand, they used to spend 5 pounds for them to get 100 rand. Now they only spend 4 pounds to get what? 100 rand. So it encouraged them to come because it's cheaper to spend here. A depreciated rent makes inbound tourists to exchange foreign currency and get more rents than before. Inbound tourism will increase or improve because tourists are able to enjoy more activities since the rent will be weaker and the tourists will get more money to spend in the country. So the opposite, if the rent appreciate, tourism will be less because it's not easy to spend, it's now expensive. Right, we are moving to 3.5. How can indigenous knowledge, IKS, be used to promote tourism in South Africa? So indigenous knowledge being the olden ways of how people used to live, and how would that promote tourism? Remember, these people want to come see how we are living, what we are eating, the dance, traditional attires. So how can IKS be used to promote tourism in South Africa? Right, you'll be given 6 minutes to respond to this one, then we look at the marking guideline. Right, grade 12, our time is up. Let's see what you have. So how can indigenous knowledge be used to promote tourism in South Africa? Tourism can be increased by promoting local culture, history, and environment to international tourists, which create uniqueness of their particular tourist destination. So we can promote this, our local culture, history, so that the international tourists are aware of this and they want to come see for themselves. Offering tourists an authentic village experience at cultural village such as Rimsvamak in Northern Cape attracts more tourists. If I haven't read the name correctly, yes, this is a tourist attraction place that would attract people within the village for them to come and see what is happening there, to experience whatever that is happening and that is unique of the place. All right, so it will attract those who are interested in expressing the traditional life activities. Promoting cultural significance of World Heritage Sites such as Robben Island, where tourists can learn about the political history of the country. Right, so people come all the way from their countries, or us in South Africa, we travel within domestic tourism to see these places, right? Promoting cultural significance of World Heritage Sites such as the Robben Island, this has been mentioned. Encouraging tourists in township to allow tourists to experience authentic township activities such as eating and drinking at the shebeen, right? So that is what indigenous things that are happening. People can be coming here visiting you're visiting in Gauteng, Soweto, to come see how people are living within the communities and township. Taking tourists who are interested in arts to festivals such as National Art Festival in Grahamstown, which expose tourists to uniquely South African experience. So people who are coming here, remember, they want to see things that are unique from what they are used to in their own countries. So we can try to promote our ways of living so that it attracts them in coming. So there are things that when you are living in your community, you feel like it's not necessary for you to be going there or seeing those things, but then other people are not familiar with those things, so they will want to come. A person coming all the way from abroad visiting Vilakazi Street in Soweto, some person will say, but why are you going there? But then they are going to experience a different ways of how South Africans enjoy during weekends, for example. Right, 4.2. We are moving to question 4. 4.2. Remember, question 4 is the mixture of microeconomics and economic issues. So 4.2 there, we have 4.2.4 and 4.2.5. Let's look at our question. Why is average revenue always equals to marginal revenue in a perfect market? This. Why? 4.2.5. Explain the effect on the industry in the long run if businesses in a perfect market make an economic profit. So if you are making economic profit in a short run, what will happen in a long run? So we are asking you, what is the profit in the long run? You are already thinking of that. But then now tell us, if you are making economic profit, what will happen in the long run? What will result in us getting that profit that we are thinking about? Right, you'll be given 6 minutes to respond to this one. Then we look at the marking guideline. Right, your time is up, grade 12. Let's look at our answers. Why is average revenue always equal to the marginal revenue? So the graphs looks like this. It's horizontal. You have AR is equals to MR. What is the reason? Then here you have your quantity, you have your price. So this tells you that the price never changed. If the price is 2, it remained the same. Right. Remember, average revenue is your TR over quantity. Total revenue over quantity. Marginal revenue is the change in total revenue over the change in quantity. So average revenue is per unit. This one is the additional one, per extra unit. In a perfectly competitive market, all products are homogeneous and they are sold at the same price. So the same price, we are selling at the same price. regardless of how many quantity. If the price is 2 rand, they are price takers. The price of a firm remains constant over varying levels of output. As a price taker, your unit price is always the same. This is quantity. Remember, this is quantity. What is quantity? Is unit. Your unit price remain the same. If it's 2 rand, the unit price remain the same, and the additional price will always remain the same. If the unit price is the same, the additional price is the same. Let's say we are selling apple for 2 rand. So for selling the first apple, how much is your revenue? 2 rand. Selling additional another apple, the second one, how much are you selling it? Is 2 rand, right? The third one, how much are you selling it? Is 2 rand. What is increasing here is the total revenue. From the first one, the total revenue will be how much? Is 2 rand. The second one is 4 rand. The third one is 6 rand. But let's look at the marginal revenue, right? It's additional revenue. The first apple is 2 rand. The second one, the marginal revenue is 2 rand. And it is additional. 4 minus 2 is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. So your marginal revenue remains the same. Let's look at the average revenue. Even if you put this marginal revenue in a calculator, it's the change in TR over change in quantity. The first one is 2 over 1. There's no change. Your answer is 2. The second one is 4 minus 2 over 2 minus 1. 2 over 1 is 2. The third one is same. 6 minus 2 over 1 is 2. Answer is 2. We go to average revenue. It will remain the same as well. So your MR is 2 here in this line. AR will be 2 as well. Right? AR is what? AR will be, so the one is TR over Q. This is for AR. So for AR is TR over Q. So our TR, the first one is 2. Our Q is 1 divided by 1 is 2. The next one, our TR is 4 divided by 2. Our answer is 2. So your answer is 2, 2. The next one, 6 divided by 3 is 2, 2. So it remains the same. So MR is always equals to AR when we are doing perfect market. That's why you find that your line is horizontal. It represents the price. This price, 2 rand. It represents the MR. It represents the AR. So price is equals to AR and it also equals to MR. Right, let's move to 4.2.5. Explain the effect of industry in a long run. If the business in a perfect market made an economic profit. So in a short run, we're making economic profit. What happens in a long run? Remember, this market is free entry and exit. When we are enjoying economic profit, people are going to enter the market. When they enter the market, what happens? There's more supply. There's more supplier, it will drop the prices. When supply is high, then the prices will be more. Let's put it here. Demand, supply. Demand, supply. There is economic profit. Super abnormal profit. It will increase supply. Anything that increases shift to there? Yes, it shifts to the right. S will shift to the right to S1. From E, price was here of 2 rand. Now we have a new equilibrium E1. The prices decrease to 1 rand. So those who are remaining in a long run will gain only normal profit because of what? More people entering the market. Right? So the more people are entering the market, it will result in the price shifting, moving down. Then will make the economic normal profit. In that case, then we'll be making normal profit. Right, let's look at our responses. When we are making economic profit, this will attract new entrants. You saw that supply was shifting to the right, meaning there's more people coming into the market. This will attract new entrants into the market, which will result in market supply curve shifting to the right. Market equilibrium price will fall we should reduce profit, therefore leading to normal profit being achieved in a long run. Let's just redo it here. This is what they're talking about. Supply shifting to the right. This is the right. Why is the supply shifting? They want to enjoy the same profit. E is moving from E to E1. The equilibrium price will fall down from E to E1. Then they will be making less income. That will shift them from economic profit to the normal profit. Right, grade 12, let's look at the summary that we have. Remember, section A, we have multiple choice for 16 marks, 8 marks for matching columns, 6 marks for terminology, that is your 30 marks. Make sure that you score here. That is 30 marks out of 150. Same as the mark that is carried by the essay. Essay, remember, is 30 marks that you bring to the exam, and then the 10 marks is the additional part. So read your terminology from your study guides. Go to your previous question and revise those multiple choice matching columns terminology. You'll be surprised that some questions come as they are from the previous question paper. Your section B of question 2 to 4, you need a game plan. If you've mastered the economic issue, you're going to answer question 3 and 4. If you've mastered the microeconomics, is question 2 and 4. And then section C as well, you must come ready. Let's come ready for section C and attack that question 6. As mentioned, that their essays, they remain that way as long as you have revised all the 6 essays. Right. Thank you so much, grade 12, for joining in today. We'll meet next time. Keep well.